I'ma say it because I ain't scared of y'all. Bitch, don't nobody give a fuck about this album that Nicki finna come out with in March. I can't stand
Nicki Minaj is back in the headlines, but this time, it's not just because of her legacy or her influence. It's because fans believe she's plotting a direct move against Cardi B. Yes, you heard that right. After Cardi's explosive success with her album I Am the Drama, Nicki Minaj is now preparing to drop her own project in March 2026. But the question is this about her artistry, or is this about rivalry? Stick around and watch this clip until the end, because you are not going to want to miss the receipts, the drama, and the fan reactions that are
And I'ma say it because I ain't scared of y'all. Bitch, don't nobody give a fuck about this album that Nicki finna come out with in March. I can't stand all how they try to pop out because you popped out. I swear to God, that shit irritate me so bad. When you do something and the bitch that don't like you decide that she want to come behind you and do the same thing you did because she feel like she could do it better, girl, go to hell. Because if your only motivation was another bitch, you're not motivated enough. First of all, that last album was trash. Let's just go ahead and put it on the floor. Nobody talked about that shit no more. 2, you trying to hurry up and rush your album in March. This lady took how many years to come out with a second album? And her career never flopped in between any of this time. She took how many years to come out with this album? And you mean to tell me all of a sudden you coming out with another album in March? I can promise you she's about to be dissing the fuck out of Cardi on that album. And it's really quite embarrassing because this is y'all queen.
For weeks now, TikTok has been buzzing with speculation that Nicki's decision to announce her new album was not simply a coincidence. Fans argue that this is all part of an ongoing feud, one that has stretched for years, between Nicki and Cardi. The timing, they say, is far too convenient. Cardi's I Am the Drama has been shattering records, climbing charts worldwide, and cementing itself as one of the most impactful hip-hop releases of the decade. So when Nicki revealed that her project is on the way, skeptics immediately raised their eyebrows. And here's where things get messy. Cardi's album isn't just successful, it's historic. Every day, new reports surface of I Am the Drama breaking yet another record, from Spotify streams to iTunes rankings to global chart dominance. Cardi's presence has been unavoidable. Fans point out that Nicki, who once held that throne as the undisputed queen, has been noticeably quiet musically. That silence, they argue, is now being interrupted not by a natural return, but by a reactionary move against Cardi's dominance. But is that really the case? Or is this yet another example of fans pitting two powerful women against each other in the industry? Some argue that Nicki has every right to drop whenever she wants, pointing out that she has always been deliberate about timing and strategy. However, others can't ignore the parallels. The suddenness, the March 2026 date, and the way Nicki's announcement coincided with Cardi's victories trending across social media. What adds fuel to the fire is the language fans are using. Many say Nicki's upcoming album is nothing more than a diss disguised as a comeback. TikTok threads are flooded with comparisons, predictions, and heated arguments. One side claims Nicki is threatened by Cardi's money moves, while the other insists Nicki is simply reclaiming her space. And in the middle of all this, Cardi, who continues to celebrate her success without publicly shading her rival, at least not yet. Meanwhile, the numbers don't lie. I Am the Drama has pushed Cardi into a new level of superstardom, with critics praising her artistry, versatility, and boldness. To fans, this is more than an album. It's a statement. So when Nicki, who has a reputation for firing shots both directly and indirectly, announces her own project right as Cardi dominates, it's no surprise that people are interpreting it as a move in their ongoing chess match. The narrative of Nicki versus Cardi has always been polarizing. It started years ago, with public spats, subtle digs, and infamous incidents that left the fan bases divided. But now, in 2025, the feud has evolved into something even more fascinating: a battle of legacies. Cardi is breaking new ground, and Nicki is being challenged to prove she's still on top. And TikTok has become the battleground. Users stitch videos comparing Cardi's rise with Nicki's strategies, using captions like, "The torch has been passed," or "Nicki's not done yet." These viral conversations have ensured that this feud isn't just confined to fan circles. It's shaping how the music industry and the general public perceive both artists. When it comes to timing in the music industry, nothing is ever accidental. Fans know this. Executives know this. And the artists themselves? They definitely know this. Which is why Nicki Minaj's announcement of a March 2026 album release has sparked a storm of conspiracy theories and debates online. Was this a carefully calculated move to align with Cardi B's peak success? Or was it a coincidence that fans are blowing out of proportion? TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram comment sections are overflowing with speculation. One viral TikTok stitched together Cardi's chart-breaking milestones with Nicki's announcement, captioned, "She waited until Cardi dominated, then, boom, album announcement." That video alone racked up millions of views in less than 24 hours. The internet is watching, analyzing, and reading between the lines, as if every date, every phrase, and every subtle nod is part of a bigger strategy. Let's not forget how monumental Cardi's I Am the Drama has been. Since its release, the album has smashed iTunes rankings, stayed atop Billboard charts for weeks, and made history as one of the fastest albums by a female rapper to reach billions of streams. Fans have crowned Cardi the Queen of 2025, with many saying she has officially cemented herself as a cultural powerhouse. So when Nicki steps forward with her own project, fans immediately frame it as a challenge. And here's the thing, Nicki Minaj has always thrived in moments of competition. Her legacy is built on lyrical dominance, unforgettable features, and a brand that positioned her as untouchable for over a decade. But what happens when that dominance is threatened by a new era? An era led by Cardi, whose influence and energy feel unstoppable. That's the exact tension fans are obsessed with right now. Some barbs, Nicki's fiercely loyal fanbase, are defending her every move. They argue that Nicki has nothing to prove and that her album will speak for itself. They point out that Nicki has been working on new material long before Cardi's success skyrocketed, and that March 2026 might just be the natural culmination of her process. But even within the Barb's community, whispers of strategic timing can't be ignored. Meanwhile, Barty Gang, Cardi's supporters, are having a field day. They accuse Nicki of chasing Cardi's success rather than leading with her own. Screenshots of tweets, TikToks, and memes are everywhere, saying things like, "Cardi's living rent-free in Nicki's head," or "Nicki's trying to stop the shine, but it's too late." These comments are brutal and they only intensify the rivalry. And then there's the neutral crowd, the ones who just love drama. These fans are soaking up the feud like it's a reality show, commenting things like, "I don't care who wins, I just want to watch the chaos." And honestly, that energy is what's keeping this narrative alive in the public eye. But here's where things get interesting. Cardi herself has not directly engaged with Nicki's album news. Instead, she continues to celebrate I Am the Drama and interact with fans about her historic success. Some fans say this silence is her ultimate flex, proving she doesn't even need to acknowledge Nicki to win. Others think Cardi is just waiting for the perfect moment to clap back with subtle shade of her own. The reality is both women are powerhouses in their own right, but the internet thrives on rivalry, and Cardi versus Nicki is one of the most enduring and explosive rivalries in modern music history, which makes the March 2026 showdown feel less like coincidence and more like destiny. When we talk about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, it's impossible not to revisit their long, complicated history. This isn't just about music. It's about ego, legacy, and who gets to define the throne of female rap. Fans remember 2018, the infamous New York Fashion Week altercation where shoes were thrown and tensions reached a boiling point. From that moment, the narrative of Nicki versus Cardi became cemented in hip-hop history. And even though years have passed, the shadow of that night still looms large over both their careers. Nicki Minaj has always prided herself on being the blueprint. From her Barbie persona to her genre-bending features, she's maintained dominance in an industry that rarely leaves space for multiple women at the top. But then Cardi came crashing in, loud, unapologetic, and relatable in a way that resonated with millions. Bodak Yellow wasn't just a hit, it was an anthem that shifted the culture. And for Nicki, that cultural shift was the beginning of endless comparisons. Fans have often accused Nicki of being territorial, unwilling to share the spotlight. And with Cardi's I Am the Drama album rewriting history books, Those whispers have turned into screams. Was Nicki's decision to push her album to March 2026 less about her artistry and more about ensuring she enters the ring while Cardi's glow is still burning hot? The internet seems to think so. But here's the twist. Nicki has pulled moves like this before. Remember when she aligned her drops against other artists, securing headlines, sparking debates, and dominating streams? It's a strategy she knows well, one that ensures she's always in the conversation. Some call it marketing genius, others call it insecurity. But no matter how you frame it, Nicki understands the power of timing. Meanwhile, Cardi has been flipping the industry playbook on its head. Instead of relying solely on traditional rollouts, she's used raw social media engagement to build hype. She doesn't just drop music, she creates moments. Whether it's through chaotic Instagram lives, meme-worthy quotes, or viral TikTok trends, Cardi's brand thrives on authenticity. That's part of why I Am the Drama exploded the way it did. It wasn't just an album, it was an event. So now, with Nicki stepping back into the spotlight, the collision feels inevitable. And here's the million-dollar question. Is this Nicki's chance to reclaim her throne? Or will Cardi's unstoppable momentum make this the toughest battle of Nicki's career? Adding to the tension, industry insiders have hinted at potential features on Nicki's upcoming album, rumors swirling about surprise collaborations, even whispers of alliances with artists who've had shaky relationships with Cardi. If true, this could reignite old wounds and escalate the rivalry to new heights. Fans are already bracing themselves for diss tracks, subliminal bars, and social media explosions. But there's another angle. What if this rivalry is exactly what both artists need? After all, competition breeds attention, and attention fuels streams, sales, and influence. Cardi's rise has kept Nicki sharp, while Nicki's presence has pushed Cardi to prove she's more than just a one-hit wonder. The two women might despise being pitted against each other, but the truth is, the rivalry has cemented them both as icons. And let's be honest, this isn't just about two rappers, it's about the culture. Fans are choosing sides, hashtags are trending, and the entire hip-hop landscape feels like it's bracing for war. This isn't just music anymore, it's history in the making. So as we inch closer to March 2026, the world waits to see. Will Nicki Minaj's return silence the critics and remind us why she's been called the queen for over a decade? Or will Cardi B continue her reign as the new standard of success in hip-hop? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. Social media is the real battlefield in this war, and both Nicki and Cardi know it. While the music will always matter, the memes, the tweets, the live streams, these are the weapons that truly shape public opinion. And fans? They eat it up. On Twitter, entire threads are dedicated to dissecting every lyric, every subliminal, every emoji each woman posts. A simple like or unfollow becomes front-page news. Take, for example, the speculation that Nicki has been quietly liking shady tweets about Cardi's success. Screenshots fly across fan pages within seconds, sparking theories that Nicki is throwing subliminal shade. On the flip side, Cardi is known for her explosive rants, often hopping on Instagram Live to call out her haters by name. Fans are now waiting to see if she'll address Nicki's alleged shade head-on, or if she'll let her music do the talking. Then there's TikTok, the app that practically fueled Cardi's album rollout. The hashtag #IamTheDrama racked up millions of views, with fans creating dances, lip syncs, and comedy skits to Cardi's songs. Nicki, however, has yet to truly dominate TikTok in the same way. Her fans argue that she doesn't need viral gimmicks. Her legacy speaks for itself. But in today's industry, where virality can make or break a single, can Nicki afford to ignore the platform? Behind the scenes, whispers in the industry paint an even more dramatic picture. Some insiders claim that Nicki is feeling the pressure like never before. With Cardi's album breaking streaming records, labels, executives, and even streaming platforms are reportedly shifting more energy into Cardi's camp. For an artist who has prided herself on being the #1 female rapper for over a decade, this could feel like betrayal. And let's not forget the fans. The Barbs versus the Barty Gang has become one of the most notorious fan wars in modern music. Every chart placement, every award nomination, Every performance is turned into ammunition. When Cardi's I Am the Drama went #1, the Barty gang celebrated like it was a victory for the culture, while the Barbs downplayed the success, arguing that Nicki has had more impactful albums. It's not just competition, it's obsession. But here's where things get really messy. Rumors are swirling about potential diss tracks. Some claim Nicki has already recorded verses aimed directly at Cardi, waiting to drop them when the time is right. Meanwhile, Cardi is known for her no-holds-barred approach. If she feels disrespected, she doesn't hold back. Imagine both albums filled with subliminals, each track analyzed by fans like detectives in a courtroom. The chaos would be unmatched. Yet despite all the drama, there are those who wonder if this rivalry is being amplified intentionally. Could the industry itself be pushing this narrative to keep both artists in the spotlight? After all, controversy sells, and nothing draws attention like a rap beef. Even those who don't usually listen to hip-hop tune in when two megastars are going head-to-head. Still, there's an undeniable truth. Both women have paved their own lanes. Nicki Minaj has spent over a decade proving her lyrical dominance, her alter egos, and her ability to reinvent herself time and time again. Cardi B, on the other hand, has shattered expectations, rising from reality TV to Grammy-winning superstardom, using authenticity and relatability as her secret weapon. The irony? Both women represent different aspects of the same struggle, carving space in a male-dominated industry. But instead of standing side by side, they've been pitted against each other at every turn. And now, with Cardi breaking records and Nicki plotting her comeback, the world is watching, waiting, and speculating. Because when March 2026 comes, this won't just be about who has the better album. It will be about who walks away as the undeniable queen of hip-hop in this new era. As the countdown to March 2026 continues, one thing is crystal clear. This battle is bigger than just music. It's about legacy, ego, and the crown of hip-hop itself. Fans are already declaring winners before the fight has even officially begun. Some say Cardi's I Am the Drama has already secured her spot as the new queen. Others argue Nicki's longevity and lyrical dominance will crush any competition when she finally drops. But the truth? Nobody knows how this will end. What we do know is that both women are gearing up for a moment that will define their careers. For Cardi, it's about proving that her success wasn't a fluke, that she can maintain her reign and break records back to back. For Nicki, it's about reclaiming her throne, reminding the world why she's considered one of the greatest to ever do it. And for the fans, it's about witnessing history in real time. The internet is already split into factions. On TikTok, Cardi's supporters flood the app with viral content, using her music as the soundtrack to their everyday lives. Meanwhile, Nicki's Barbs flood Twitter spaces, defending her legacy and preparing for what they believe will be the real comeback. Even casual listeners are getting pulled into the drama because, let's face it, this isn't just about rap, it's about entertainment. But let's not ignore the emotional toll. Cardi has been open about how draining the constant comparisons are, how every move she makes is dissected and linked back to Nicki. Nicki, on the other hand, has faced accusations of bitterness, with critics claiming she can't stand to see another woman succeed in the lane she dominated for so long. The psychological warfare behind the scenes may be just as intense as the chart battles. And then there's the money. Make no mistake, both women stand to profit massively from this so-called war. Every headline, every fan debate, every viral moment only adds to their streams, their sales, their relevance. Even their beef, whether real or exaggerated, fuels the machine. So the question becomes, are we witnessing a genuine rivalry or the most brilliant marketing move in hip-hop history? Here's what makes it even more intriguing. Whispers in the industry say that both Nicki and Cardi are planning major tours following their albums. Imagine the chaos if those tours overlap. Imagine fans comparing set lists, ticket sales, stage production, and special guests. The competition wouldn't just be on the charts. It would be live, city to city, night after night. And yet, despite all the speculation, Cardi herself summed it up in one line during a recent live stream. "I don't care who's at the top. I'm doing what makes me happy." Meanwhile, Nicki has teased on her socials that 2026 will be her biggest year yet. Both statements, while simple, carry the weight of queens preparing for battle. So, as we close tonight's breakdown, remember this. This isn't just a story about two rappers. This is a cultural moment, one that will be studied, debated, and remembered for years to come. Whether you're Team Nicki, Team Cardi, or just here for the drama, one thing's for sure. Hip-hop has never been this electrifying. And when March 2026 arrives, the only question left will be, who comes out on top? Will Nicki Minaj reclaim her throne, or will Cardi B prove she is the real drama, the unstoppable force of this generation? Stay tuned, because this story is far from over.